No Premier League, but plenty for football fans on TV this weekend. A weekend without Premier League action is usually a cause for despair amongst football fans in England. Dominating the TV schedule each week, its absence is normally keenly felt, with a lack of quality action to fill the void. That is not the case this time around, however. Despite the top flight breaking due to the added round of international fixtures for South American, Asian and North American countries, there is still a jam-packed schedule on the box this Saturday and Sunday. Here, Sportsmail takes you through the best of the action to enjoy over the next 48 hours. Ross County v Rangers, Sky Sports main event, 12:30 p.m. for the hardcore footballing enthusiast. There is an opportunity to start your Saturday binge with the A-League clash between Western United and Carl Jenkinson featuring Melbourne City at 8:45 a.m. on BT Sport 2. For those of a more sensible persuasion and who appreciate the virtues of a weekend lie-in, the action gets underway in Dingwall in the north of Scotland at lunchtime. Giovanni van Bronckhorst's Rangers side scraped to victory midweek against Livingston to maintain their 4-point lead over Celtic at the top of the Scottish Premiership. With the rearranged Old Firm fixture penned in for next Wednesday, victory over struggling Ross County will be key in maintaining the upper hand ahead of their trip to Parkhead. There is also the possibility of the first viewing of Amad Diallo in blue after the league leaders secured a loan move for the Manchester United youngster earlier this week. Gambia v Cameroon, BBC Two and iPlayer, 4 p.m. The biggest competition on show this weekend is undoubtedly the Africa Cup of Nations. We've reached the quarter-finals, with many of the pre-tournament favourites still involved and many big names. The hosts Cameroon kick off the last 8 fixtures when they take on the little-fancied Gambia, who will have taken heart from the exploits of goalkeeper Les Comoros in the previous round. Reims v Bastia, Mola TV, 5:30 p.m. Despite the internationals window, there is no rest for top teams in France, who will be competing in the round of 16 in the French Cup this weekend. Little-known Indonesian streaming service Mola TV have the exclusive UK rights, and those interested in watching can register for free to watch the action this weekend. First up is Reims against League Two side Bastia. The top-flight side reached this stage courtesy of a late winner by former Everton striker and Scotland under-21 international Fraser Hornby. Also on show could be teenager Hugo Ekitike, whose phenomenal form this season in front of goal had seen him linked with a move to Newcastle amongst other Premier League sides earlier this window. An opportunity for armchair fans to carry out their own scouting mission, then. Burkina Faso v Tunisia, Sky Sports Premier League, 7 p.m. The second AFCON semi-finalists will be decided on Saturday evening. With Aston Villa's Bertrand Traore leading the line, Burkina Faso overcame Gabon in a tense shootout in the last round, eventually triumphing 7-6. They'll be up against Tunisia, who knocked out Nigeria in the last 16. The sides will head into the match knowing their semi-final opponent, too. Marseille v Montpellier, Mola TV, 8 p.m. While not a household name in England just yet, you get the feeling Stephy Mavididi could just be heading that way. The former Arsenal youth product left the club for Juventus and has since settled in France at Montpellier after a loan spell at Dijon. The left-sided winger has been flying for Le Payelate in League One this season, scoring 8 goals and assisting a further 3. The 23-year-old has also been tentatively linked with a return to England this winter. You might catch a glimpse of him leading the line once more for his side as they take on fellow League One side Marseille in an eye-catching clash at Stade Velodrome on Saturday evening. Arsenal women v London City Lionesses, BBC Red Button and iPlayer, 12:30 p.m. More cup action follows on Sunday lunchtime as the women take centre stage. Arsenal are flying high at the top of the Women's Super League, consolidating their position after victory against Brighton on Thursday evening. Jonas Eidevall's side will be looking to avoid a monumental shock then, when they welcome Women's Super League 2 side London City Lionesses for their 4th round tie. Derby v Birmingham, Sky Sports main event, 1:30 p.m. There is no denying the job that Wayne Rooney has done at Derby County. From a near impossible position of a 21-point deduction, the Rams are still well in the fight for survival. It is now getting down to the crunch however, and an 8-point gap still exists between Rooney's men and that coveted 21st place in the table. They host a Birmingham City side that have far from convinced this season, themselves languishing in 18th place. If the former Manchester United striker is going to pull off the unthinkable, this is a game they simply have to win. Egypt v Morocco, Sky Sports Premier League, 4 p.m. time for the big guns. Mohamed Salah and Egypt held their nerve against the Ivory Coast to book their spot in the quarter-finals against a Morocco team who have so far impressed. Achraf Hakimi was their hero in the last 16, producing a thunderbolt of a free kick to see off Malawi. Egypt have been on the back foot for much of the tournament, having sweated over their qualification for the knockout rounds after losing to Nigeria in their opener. They'll be hoping the somewhat subdued Salah can finally come to the fore. Cardiff City v Nottingham Forest, Sky Sports main event, 4 p.m. A championship game with huge implications at both ends of the table wraps up the weekend's domestic offerings. Nottingham Forest have been unrecognizable since ditching Chris Hughton and hiring Steve Cooper. They've been beaten just 3 times in 22 matches since swapping coaches and are pushing hard for a playoff spot. Victory on Sunday could lift them as high as 5th. It's a completely different story for Cardiff, whose season started poorly and has gone downhill from there. Steve Morrison's men would be cut adrift in the relegation places without the points deductions handed down to both Reading and Derby. They currently look like a team waiting for other results to go their way, rather than taking a grasp of the situation themselves. If this doesn't float your boat though, there is more French Cup action and the biggest chance of a shock this weekend. Bergerac are in the 4th tier of the pyramid, but League One's basement boys Saint-Étienne won't be relishing the prospect of a visit to the Stade de Cambriol, Mola TV, 5:30 p.m. Senegal v Equatorial Guinea, BBC Two and Sky Sports Football, 7 p.m. The action comes to a close with the final Africa Cup of Nations quarter, which could produce a blockbuster of a semi-final if results go a certain way. The tantalizing prospect of Mohamed Salah vs Sadio Mane could become a reality should Egypt beat Morocco and Mane's Senegal beat Equatorial Guinea. It remains to be seen what part the Liverpool forward will play on Sunday evening after being removed from the last 16 victory over Cape Verde with concussion. If you are Afghaned out, then there is more French Cup action in the form of RC Lens vs Monaco, Mola TV, 8 p.m., or even a Portuguese offering, with Primeira Liga leaders Porto, the wound of losing star forward Luis Diaz to the Premier League still fresh, welcoming Maritimo to Estadio do Dragão, BT Sport 2, 8:30 p.m.